A very highly anticipated Android Wear smartwatch has finally made it into our hands, or our wrists, more like. It's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And it's time to unbox and give my first impressions on the Huawei watch. Now, if there was any pretense as to how fancy Huawei wants to make this watch, you only have to see what box it comes in. Not only is there an outer shell that slides up and has a very nice text on the side that says Huawei watch, but opening up the actual case is a very luxurious affair. Opening up reveals the watch right underneath the cover, and the two nubs on the sides will be able to lift that small leather area in order to get to the rest of the accessories. But the watch itself already looks quite shiny. The sapphire crystal shines very brightly in the light, and the leather strap on the black leather here looks really nice, but we're going to put that aside just for a moment and see what else we have underneath the surface. Getting underneath that leather area in the middle brings us to a pretty thick but also multilingual manual that will tell you everything you need to know about the watch. But if you have used Android Wear watches in the past, well, this one shouldn't be too much different. Aside from that, however, we do have a plug adapter for the USB charging cable, which is actually proprietary. You have a small disc here in which the pins that are on it will connect directly to the contacts on the back of the watch. Now, the fact that this is proprietary is a little bit of a turnoff, I'm not going to lie, because you won't be able to use it with just any USB cable, but also if you need an extra charger, you need to buy a separate one. Otherwise, you just have to remember to have this on you at all times, especially if you're traveling, as we expect this watch to pretty much go for maybe a day and a half and require charging pretty much every night. But we will go ahead and go straight to the watch itself. Sapphire crystal on the front is the kind of glass that you would expect on a high-end regular watch, and then the metal housing has the nubs on the top and bottom, which are curved down a little bit to accommodate the leather straps in this case. Now, the side button is up on an angle, as is the case with a couple of other watches as well, but powering up the watch and getting it connected to the phone was a pretty standard affair. Open up the Android Wear application and power up the watch, and then after pairing the code, it should be easy for it to connect. Even though I have a couple of other Android Wear smartwatches already paired to my phone, the Huawei watch can be easily selectable and you can use it once it's ready. But what's really great is the high resolution, at least for a smartwatch, display on here. This is an AMOLED screen, which we also think is a pretty great choice for this watch, that comes in at 400 by 400 resolution. And underneath the surface is a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor with half a gig of RAM and 4 gigabytes of storage. Now, donning the actual watch onto the wrist brings a bit of heft. It's not necessarily heavy and it doesn't weigh down the wrist, but it is certainly felt, and you will know that you have this smartwatch on your wrist. Now, getting into the different elements of the Huawei watch's Android Wear OS brings a pretty standard affair with a few additions, mainly by way of a ton of different smartwatch faces. There's so many of them on here that you can customize it exactly to the way that you want it to, given the 40 plus that are installed already. And then of course there are all of the different applications that are installed on your phone already that will then be brought over. Certain applications like Pomo To-Do are already going to be sent to the watch and will have Android Wear specific versions available. And so there you have it for this unboxing and initial setup of the Huawei watch. We've already just gotten done with the Moto 360 2nd Gen unboxing as well, so you're going to be seeing a comparison between these two smartwatches to see which of them are better for you. It is a matter of style, of course, and Moto Maker is going to be Moto 360's trump card, while the Huawei watch brings some very premium materials at different price tiers, and this one is one of the lower end pricing points. The middle ones will include all of the metal ones, and the higher ones will include the gold and even higher materials that are available for this particular watch.